school family. It's Miss Sarah and I'm here to read The Best Nest. And this is a book that my mom used to read to me when I was little. Every night before I went to sleep, my mom would read me a book, and if she forgot, I reminded her because I did not like to sleep, but I love to read. And so this was one of my favorites. It's called The Best Nest, like I said, and the title has a rhyme in it. Best and nest. They both end with est, so that rhymes. And the author's name is P.D. Eastman. I used to think this book was written by the same person who wrote Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss, because it kind of looks like a Dr. Seuss book, and there's like a picture of the cat in the hat at the top, but it says, I can read it by myself. It means it's a book that you might read when you start reading. So it's really fun. It's not a big book like I'm used to. It's kind of smaller, but I'll still bring it close so you can see the pictures. And I think we've read it in class before, so you might remember it. The Best Nest. It's all about two birds who are trying to find the best nest to live in. And kind of like we've talked about the word habitat, a place to live, animals have to find a habitat where it's safe and where they can live. So these birds are looking for the best nest. And here's a picture of them. Did you know that when birds build nests, they use lots of different things? They might use grass or twigs or even hair sometimes, or stuffing or string, whatever they can find. So let's see, The Best Nest by P.D. Eastman. That's the author and the illustrator. Mr. Bird was happy. He was so happy he had to sing. This was his song. I love my house, I love my nest, in all the world my nest is best. And there he is singing. There's some music notes. Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. So he really likes his house. I just remembered it was Mother's Day this weekend, and this book makes me think of my mom, so give your mom a hug. Let's see. Then Mrs. Bird came out of the house. It's not the best nest, she said. It's not the best nest. So does she like this house that they live in? No, they disagree, or they have different opinions. That means they think different things. So Mr. Bird thinks it's the best. Mrs. Bird doesn't. Let's see. I'm tired of this old place, said Mrs. Bird. I hate it. Let's look for a new place right now. Oh wow, she wants to look for a new place to live. She really doesn't like their old place. I wonder why she doesn't like it. So they live in a birdhouse. Where else could birds live? Yeah, in a nest. Let's see. So they left the old place to look for a new place. This place looks nice, said Mr. Bird. Let's move in here. So look where they're looking. At a tree trunk. We know that's the trunk of the tree. We learned about that. Do you think that will be a good home for them? I wonder what else lives in there. Let's see. But somebody else had already moved in. Oh no, what do you see? A raccoon lives in there. That's a raccoon's habitat. And usually birds and raccoons don't share the same hollow in the tree. So they looked at another house. This one looks nice, said Mr. Bird, and there's nobody in it. And they looked, what's that? That's a shoe. Who goes in a shoe? A foot, silly. Is there room for a bird in your shoe? Not in my shoe. You're wrong, said Mrs. Bird. This house belongs to a foot. They can't live there. That's not a good habitat for them. So they went on looking. So they're looking and searching. I like this one, said Mr. Bird. It has a pretty red flag on the roof. I've always wanted a house with a flag, said Mrs. Bird. Maybe this will be the right place. What do you guys think that is? That's a mailbox. Yeah, a mailbox. Do birds live in mailboxes? No. What goes in a mailbox? Mail, right? Yeah, a mailbox might have a cool flag, but that's where mail goes. So that's not a safe spot for a bird. It was not all right. Why wasn't it all right? The mail came in and almost crushed them. We saw that in this picture. The illustrator was letting us know that the mail truck was coming. It says U.S. mail. That means United States mail. I guess I made a mistake, said Mr. Bird. They look like this. They're surprised. You make too many mistakes, said Mrs. Bird. I'm going to pick the next house. So she wants a turn to pick. And here it is, right here. It looks like they're picking this building. What does that look like? They flew in. They looked around. Isn't it too big, said Mr. Bird. I like this big place, said Mrs. Bird. This is the place to build our nest right here. They went right to work. They needed many things to build their nest. First, they got some hay. Then they got soda straws and broom straws. They got some sweater string. They got stocking string and mattress stuffing. I meant to show you on this page. I got a little excited, sorry. So, they took the soda straw out. This girl was like, oh. And this boy, when they're taking his sweater, do you think he likes that? His face is like, yikes. I think in real life, birds don't take your string right off your sweater. Has that happened to you? No, but this book is fictional. That means it's imaginary, so they're showing us what might happen. Now, when I was at the beach one time, a seagull tried to steal my hot dog, so sometimes birds can be very bold. And it looks like Mrs. Bird is taking some of his stocking string or his socks. That's never happened to me, but maybe it could. And Mr. Bird's pulling out the stuffing out of the mattress. I guess they want their house to be really cozy, so that's why they're taking string and stuffing. They're taking hair in this picture, horse hair and man hair. That's silly. I've never seen a bird try to grab someone's beard or a horse tail. Do you know anyone who has a beard? Or a horse who has a tail? I wonder what else they'll get. Wow, that's a lot. See how much they're carrying? Soon they had all the hay, all the straw, all the string, and all the stuffing, all the horse hair and all the man hair they could carry. That's a lot. All the straw, all the hay, all the string, all the stuffing, all the horse hair, all the man hair they could carry. It's a lot to carry. They took it all back to their nest. Great, they're bringing it to their nest. And they made it, oh, let's put it all together. Make it so cozy. Yeah, that looks really cozy. Mr. and Mrs. Bird worked very hard. It took them the whole day to finish their nest. This nest is the best, said Mrs. Bird. It's so cozy, I want to stay here forever. Do you notice anything about where their nest is? It's right on top of something. What is that? It's on top of a bell. Oh boy. I wonder what might happen. Mr. Bird was very happy too. He flew to the top of his house. He sang, I love my house, I love my nest, in all the world my nest is the best. He was so busy singing, he didn't see Mr. Parker coming. Uh-oh, I wonder what Mr. Parker is gonna do. Every day at 12 o'clock, Mr. Parker came to the church. Mr. Parker came to pull a rope. The rope went up to the bird's new nest. What do you think the rope does when he pulls it? What could it do? What could a rope do? Oh no. The rope rang the big bell under the bird's nest. Oh no. These big words say bong, bong, bong. When a bell rings, it vibrates. Vibrates means it shakes. You vibrate your hand. Ooh, bong. And so when they shake, the nest is falling apart. Oh no. And Mrs. Bird's like, whoa, that scared her. Mrs. Bird got out of there as fast as she could. She flew this way and Mr. Bird flew that way. So she flew this way to the left and he flew to the right. Oh no. When Mr. Bird came in, all he could see was a mess of hay and string and stuffing and horsehair and man hair and straws. But where was Mrs. Bird? Where did she go? I will look for her until I find her, said Mr. Bird. He looked high, he looked low, he looked everywhere for Mrs. Bird. Did he find her? Can you look high? Can you look low? This way, this way. Do you see her? I don't know where she went. He looked down into a chimney, but Mrs. Bird wasn't there. Oh no. He looked into a water barrel, but Mrs. Bird wasn't there. Where else could he look? Then he saw a big, fat cat. There was a big, fat smile on the big, fat cat's face. There were some pretty brown feathers near the cat's mouth. Mr. Bird began to cry. Oh dear, he said, this fat cat has eaten Mrs. Bird. Oh no, he's so worried. He's so worried about his Mrs. Bird. Then Mr. Bird flew off. I'll never see her again, he cried. It was getting dark and it began to rain. It rained harder and harder. Mr. Bird couldn't see where he was going. Oh no. Crash! Mr. Bird bumped into something. This word says crash. I wonder what he bumped into. It was so dark with the rain and the clouds, he didn't see. Crash. Ow, that must have hurt. I wonder what he bumped into. Oh, it was his old house. That old house that Mrs. Bird didn't like. I'll go inside, said Mr. Bird. I'll rest here until the rain stops, he thought. Oh, he's so sad. You guys aren't gonna believe this! Mr. Bird went inside and there was Mrs. Bird sitting there singing, I love my house, I love my nest in all the world, my nest is the best. Oh wow, she's really jamming on those tunes. I see the music notes coming out of her mouth. She's singing. Wait a minute, she likes this house now? Huh. You? Here? Said Mr. Bird. I thought you didn't like this nest. She changed her mind. He's so surprised. He's like, you are here? I didn't think you would be here. You don't like this place. Mrs. Bird smiled. I used to not like it, but a mother bird can change her mind, you see. There's no nest like an old nest for a brand new bird. What do you notice is in the nest? There's an egg. I wonder what's going to come out of that egg. What comes out of egg? What do you see? Oh, and when the egg popped open, a brand new bird came out, and he liked the new nest too. Wow, that is so special. So that was the best nest. If you were a bird, where would you build your nest? And what do you think of your house? Do you think it's the best house? I bet it's so cozy and nice. I really like that book. I wonder if you could write a book for each animal that has a habitat. Like for, what do you think? For a fox, the best den, or for what other animals live in places? Maybe we can think of other animals and their habitats. I should know this. I made a book about this. But anyway, that was a really fun book. Thank you for reading this with me. I wish you well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Find somewhere cozy to hang out just like the birds did. See you later.